Hello and welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to be talking about a number of different things, but I wanted to start off talking about Ali Alexander. He is the leader of the so-called Stop the Steal campaign. He has said that he will not disavow what happened at the Capitol building. He will not denounce it. As a matter of fact, one of his chants was victory or death. And so he, along with so many others, they're being sought after because of what they have done here. They're even talking about possibly bringing criminal charges against Donald Trump. So as you see, America is taking this very seriously. But what I wanted to say is this: when you create and stir up such an environment, this is what happens. This environment was created and it has been nurtured for a very, very long time. Created and nurtured. I'm reminded of a statement by Dr. Martin Luther King where he says, "Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere." So people have sat back, they've looked, and they've watched as this country has dealt with so-called black people in a very raggedy way, unfair way. Okay. Wow. All of this stuff that's going on right now, I mean, it's really crazy. Trump, I said chump. I didn't mean that, y'all. I was trying to say Trump. But there's even talk of him possibly just stepping down before the 20th. They want to impeach him. They want to invoke the 25th Amendment. I mean, just so many different things. So it's a lot of chaos in the country right now, but the world is watching. The world is watching. And many are just really bothered by what they are seeing here in the country. But again, when you stir up this type of environment, this is what happens. This is what comes out of it. So many people have been arrested. I mean, there's a list, and the list is growing. This has brought international shame to America. International shame. The faces are rolling in. There are even police officers who are said to have been in the crowd of people who stormed the Capitol. Lawmakers. So many people. And as I've stated before many times, all of this is causing the shame of America to bubble to the surface because some people pretended like they didn't see it, like they didn't know it was there. But what Trump has done, and I do applaud him for this, he has helped to bring it all to the surface for those who were sleepers. Now, some people commend him for this in a good way. They say he's draining the swamp as if he himself is the good guy. He's just helping to expose America. For some of us, it didn't need to be exposed. We already saw. What Trump has done, he's actually helped bring it to the surface because he himself is one of the perpetrators who have done this. And he's helped bring it to the surface for those who were too blind to see what was happening in this country. But unfortunately, many still will not see that this country has some serious racial problems. Many still don't see that Trump himself has some very deep-seated racial problems. Now, this is how I feel. I want to say this to all of my people, all of my family. So many of you have commented on your feelings concerning Trump. You've shared your comments with me. Some of you have been very abrasive with your comments because you think that I support Biden because I don't support Trump. I'm tired of going over that over and over again. But one thing I wanted to say is I'm not willing to fall out with people over who's the best slave master, Trump or Biden. I'm like this. If you believe that Trump is a good man and he really has the best interest of black people in his heart, that's you. So be it. Okay? I'm okay with that if that's what you believe, because there is absolutely nothing I can say to convince you otherwise. But please also understand if I just don't buy it. Because over the past few months, I'm going to say more than that, even more than a few months ago, even I'm going to take it back as far as the past couple of years. Various things that I may have said about Trump have been taken in such a way to where people really believe that you're harming him in some kind of way if you don't accept that he's a good man. I don't see it, okay? And to me, this is further proof that he was willing to stir up something so dangerous to where people were storming the Capitol. And they're even talking about storming each state capital in the coming weeks. As a matter of fact, I believe they said on Inauguration Day. We don't know how true that is, but that was an FBI report. But the point of the matter is this. Trump proves just how dangerous he can be with the rhetoric he spewed out. He stirred up his base. Even the speech the morning of was pretty much an attack speech. Not just him, but others as well. And some people are still standing by him thinking that he's an upright, upstanding guy. Many of us are fully aware that Biden himself is not a lover of so-called black people either. We understand all of this. But what we see right now is a country that is ripped and torn in many places. And a person who is the sitting president who helped to stir all of this up. As a matter of fact, we have to understand that this is not just people upset at the government. Many people use these as excuses or use stuff like this as an excuse to do other dirt that they've already wanted to do. Think about the so-called black woman who was attacked by a group of white men. She was attacked by a group of white men. And it was said that there was a black guy nearby and he didn't step in and do a thing. Now, I'm not trying to make this about that, whether the black guy stepped in or the white guys who attacked her. I wanted to make mention of the fact that these were Trump supporters. It shows that even though people are thinking this is solely political, it is not. He has created an environment, and someone made a post or a meme that explained it very well, that Trump made racists feel comfortable being this way because he himself is this way. He uses dog whistles to say what he has to say, and if you're not paying attention, you'll miss it. He says just the right words to stir up his base. I mean, one statement he made, I remember he was talking about how he says, all you white women who are not sure if you like me or not, he says, I'm trying to protect your suburbs from thugs. Now, anybody with any kind of sense knows that when they talk about thugs, for the most part, they're talking about so-called black people. So if you're telling a white woman that you're going to protect her neighborhood, her suburbs from thugs, you don't have to say black people. That's a dog whistle. We already know what you mean when you say protect their. When you're speaking to white women, you say, I'm going to protect your suburbs from thugs. Trust me, they all know what that means. And so when I look at all of the chaos that's happening in this country right now, how the Capitol building was ripped and torn and stormed, and they crapped in the hallways, pissed and urinated all over the place, and just tore the place up. Lawmakers, police officers, other professionals, and then, of course, average citizens. They went in there to do damage, and they did. And there was some pepper in the crowd as well. And so for some people consider this trouble in paradise, because America brags and boasts about how they are the police of the world, how they try to keep law and order on the planet. And Donald Trump tried to make himself the law and order president. But he incited some serious violence in the Capitol building. But yet he calls himself or considers himself the law and order president. So if you say trouble in paradise, it could be seen as that, because, again, when you have a nation that brags and boasts about how they do things, this is what happens. We see exactly what has happened. It is amazing how quickly things can change. 2020 went out with a bang. 2021 is banging on. I think that we're all going to just sit back and watch how things unfold. We can just take a guess as to whether or not things are going to get better or worse. All I know is this: everybody better consider their position. Fortify your life. Keep your head on a swivel. Understand that this is not our fight. I mean, come on now. When I say that this is not our fight, I do have an understanding of some things. I realize that it can be quickly made our fight. But for those of you who want to go down and get in the midst of the crowd, that's who I'm talking to. Keep yourself at home. Stay your behind at home. No need to go and mix with this. No need to go and get involved in this mess. Well, we're going to see things unfolding more and more. We will definitely see things unfolding more and more, but we've got to be vigilant, being careful, paying attention to what's going on, and don't take things for granted. As much as you can, keep yourself at home. Okay? I'm done with this video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do so. Share and like this video. And with that, I am out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.